I think it's safe to say that most of us go to work every day to earn a paycheck, and financial advisors are no different. But how they bill you for their services can be confusing and ultimately affect how much you're earning for your own retirement. So today we are going to clear that confusion and offer some advice with Ohio's retirement coach, Greg Taylor, with Legacy Retirement Group. Good to see you again, Greg.
It's good to be here.
So I did not realize, first of all, that there were so many ways to describe how a financial advisor is going to charge you a fee. And there are different ways, right?
Yes, so there's fee only. Someone can just give you a flat fee. They can say, we're going to charge you $10,000 a year to manage all your assets. Someone can be fee-based, which means that they get paid a percentage of the assets they manage. And so if they grow your assets, they get a little bit more. And if your assets shrink, they get a little bit less. And then there's commission-based. And some people do a little bit of all of it. They charge a fee plus they get a commission. And so that's really created, just last week, the Department of Labor, in regards to 401ks and IRAs, passed what's called a fiduciary rule. Now, myself and our wealth manager in our practice, we are fiduciaries. And what a fiduciary means is that you have to do what's in someone's best interest. So it's amazing that we had to pass a law so that advisors would have to do what's in our client's best interest.
That is interesting. And we had Deborah, who lives in Grove City, had asked what the difference was between those, but wanted to know which was best for her as a client. And now you're saying the person who knows, obviously, the ins and outs of what's happening is going to decide which is best for her, right?
That's exactly right, because we are fee-based in our practice, but we also sometimes use things that pay a commission. And so as fiduciaries, we have to disclose that. Here, we're not going to charge you a fee because we're already getting paid by the company organization that, we're trying to find the best tool that's going to work for you. And that's how we go about doing that. So it's full disclosure and transparency that people need to know.
They need to know, and they trust that when you're open with them. All right, we're going to go to Brent in Pataskala, who said, what can you tell me about Roth conversions? Switching gears a little here. He says, I have about $150,000 in a traditional IRA. I'd like to convert at least part of it to a Roth, but I want to be sure that I understand the pros and cons.
Well, understand this, with a traditional IRA, you get to deduct all the contributions. It's going to grow tax deferred, and then later on, everything that you withdraw is going to be taxable. With a Roth IRA, you have to pay all the taxes up front. It's going to grow tax-free, and later on, as long as you're past 59 and a half and you've had at least 5 years, now everything you withdraw is going to be tax-free. So I think it's a great idea to think about the Roth IRA. Be careful, though, because if you pull $150,000 out all at once, you could end up owing Uncle Sam maybe $40,000 or $50,000 in tax. So you want to have a strategy for converting that over to a Roth IRA.
Okay, gotcha. All right, finally, we are going to help Mike in Marysville. He has a concern that's really common kind of among the older generation, I'd say. He asked, do you have any suggestions for ways to get my wife to talk about money and investing? I'm a few years older. I don't want her to feel blindsided if something happens to me.
Well, I think it's very important for women that don't show a real interest, that they get involved in all the decisions, and they understand why. Because I think one of the biggest problems is that the right knowledge isn't getting out there. In fact, that's why Kristen and I, every year now, we do what's called a Women's Summit. So it's only for women. In fact, we have one coming up this coming May 3rd. It's called Food, Fashion, and Finance. So my wife, I can tell you, she's the one that, and she can tell you a little bit more about it, but she's the one that kind of designed it and engineered it, because she is a woman, she understands that. We want to get knowledge into women so that they will take an active role, so they'll know what's going on and they'll understand why it's so important.
All right, Greg, always good advice. And up next, it is time to diversify, right? This is one of your favorite words, right? It's a common term in savings and retirement planning. So the team from Legacy will be back to explain what it all really means.